What's up, guys? Easy ways to ground yourself when you're at home from anxiety and panic attacks. If you have anxiety and panic attacks, there's a ton of stuff around your house that you can actually use to fight off your anxiety, your panic attacks. And I'm going to show you a couple of easy, simple ones around the house that you can easily do to fight these off. If you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button. My name is Eric. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, PTSD, GAD, and MDD. I lost a wife and a father to suicide. I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a counselor. I'm none of that. I've experienced a lot, and I like to share as much as I can for anybody out there struggling. So you're at home and you're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack. Anxiety attack and panic attacks is something that a lot of us struggle with, and there's a big difference between the two. But essentially what they are is you lose track of everything and you get stuck in your head. You literally are stuck in a prison in your head. Your vision might be blurred a little bit. Your voice might be stuttering. You feel a lot of different emotions. You feel your heart rate increasing. You're not breathing very well. You may start hyperventilating. There is a lot that goes into it, even to the point with a panic attack, which is even more intense than an anxiety attack, where that almost feels like you're dying. I mean, you feel like you're having a heart attack. You are freaking out. You're calling 911. It's not uncommon for somebody during a panic attack to call 911. Now, there are ways around this. So when you're going through and you start to feel your anxiety build up, we can all feel our anxiety start to build up, and we're like, oh my goodness, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And we start to freak ourselves out and amp ourselves up. And next thing you know, we're trapped in our prison of the fear, the unknown, and the uncertainty, and we're breaking down. Here's what ends up happening of how to ground yourself. One of the easy ones is grab something cold to drink. Breathing exercises don't necessarily work for me, but if I take something cold to drink, put it in my mouth, hold it for 5 seconds, and then swallow it, it starts forcing me to breathe out of my nose. When our breathing gets off and our heart rate gets off and our heart's beating too fast and our breathing, we're not just quite breathing right, that can cause us to throw up or our stomach feels sick. Forcing yourself to be able to breathe correctly is everything when it comes to grounding yourself, because now all of a sudden you start paying attention to something. And what grounding is using your senses. It's using your sense of taste, sight, sound. It's a sense of touch. That's what grounds you and pulls you back to reality, because you essentially disassociate. So you're stuck in all these thoughts and emotions and you're losing your shit and it's getting really, really bad. So using your senses brings you out of here and back into reality. Another one, lemons. Lemons is one of my favorite. I had a couple of videos on lemons that went viral. If you're at home and you have a lemon, bite into a lemon. Why lemons work? One, the texture on your tongue. So it gets your sense of touch going. When you bite into that, the citrus smell hits your nose. Now you're using 2 of your senses. Your brain is literally overriding the bad thoughts. Now the taste, that bitterness, that sourness, that hits your taste buds. Now all of a sudden 3 senses are stronger than the thoughts going on in your head. It brings you back to reality. This is one of those that can actually pull you out of a panic attack even. Now, of course, not everybody keeps lemons at home. I get that. But if you use your sense of taste to pull yourself out of anxiety attacks, panic attacks, you can with warheads, you can with anything sour, hot, or bitter. Using those senses of taste, it's a very strong sense of yours. It will distract your thought process, where instead of thinking up here, it's going to go right to here. Another one, Vicks Vapor Rub. I've shared about this before too. Vicks, you start feeling anxiety coming on, put some Vicks on your chest. Guess what? That smell hits your nose. You smell the menthol. It distracts your brain because you're smelling menthol. It feels a little cold on your chest. Next thing you know, your nose is opening up. Your breathing starts to calm down. It may even flash back to some memories when you weren't feeling maybe the best and you were cozy in bed. And it's a comforting feeling. Again, using all those senses to get you out of your thought process. Very, very easy to do. Another one, Hall's cough drops. Cough drops are simple because cough drops, again, have that menthol in them. And next thing you know, it's opening up your breathing passage. You start to feel your breathing coming in and out. You feel the coolness in your lungs opening and closing as you're breathing. It helps you get your breathing back under control. One of the big things to remember is when you're going through an anxiety attack and a panic attack is getting that breathing under control. Me sitting and doing breathing exercises, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing in and out. My brain doesn't function that way. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't connect. It doesn't help me. But the importance of breathing is huge. And that's why they do have those breathing exercises. So cough drops is another one. Even rubber bands. When the anxiety starts getting and you're having an anxiety-filled day, one of the easy things to do is take a rubber band, put the rubber band on your wrist, snap the rubber band, starts distracting your thoughts, shifts your thoughts from up here to the sense of touch, because it kind of hurts a little bit. So there's easy things around the house that you can use to get yourself out of it. You don't have to be a victim to your anxiety and your panic attacks. Now, again, these are coping mechanisms. Coping is kind of like patching a flat tire. It works when it gets real. But with therapy, that really gets to the source of it to help you get the needed help and tools, resources, or working through what you need to get to the point where you are able to fight through them even easier. Sometimes even medication is needed. Again, it's trial and error to find out what works for you, but it's all about using your senses. So using your sense of sight, using your sense of touch, using your sense of hearing, using your sense of taste, using those senses. And the more and more that you start doing it, the more and more that you're aware of it, the easier and easier it is to fight through. And a lot of times we're not taught this stuff. So hopefully one of these works for anybody out there. I mean, best one ever is if you're drinking something that has ice in it, put the ice in your mouth. That ice, cold temperature hits your sense of touch, sense of taste, sense of smell because your lungs are cold. I mean, it hits everything for you and brings you again out of your thought process. It's all about changing the thought process of what's in your brain, what's going on, that fear, the overwhelmingness, the panic, the scared, unknown, all of that, and it brings you back to reality. That's what grounding is. You're an amazing human being and you can fight through anything that you're going through out there. If you're new to the channel, again, hit that like and subscribe button, hit the little bell over there, comment down below. I'd love to know some of your grounding techniques that you've used to help you get through an anxiety attack or a panic attack. Because the more that we share, the more that nobody goes through life alone. And the more that it makes that trial and error so much easier. If you click the description box, I have links to all my different social medias. I have links to everything that I do, even the free mental health peer-to-peer support community that I have on Discord for the adults and for teens. I even have links down below to things on Amazon that I use, like fidget cubes, fidget spinners. Even have a link down below to BetterHelp, because it's trial and error to find out what works for you. And therapy is so important. Coping skills, these help. Therapy helps put an end to it. So hit that like and subscribe button, and let's do this together.